I'm Gabriella, and today I want to talk about keeping music in our schools. Money is a hard topic. We all get scared of it being stretched too thin, about budget cuts, or having to ditch a program. But unfortunately, this is the yearly occurrence for music programs across the nation. These classes of band, choir, and orchestra are a joy to many students, and scientists are now seeing that it is a great tool in our education. However, these classes often get the short end of the stick when budgets get cut. Today, I advocate for keeping these classes even when money seems to run low. I do this not only as a student, but as a member of society who wants the future generations to have the best education that they can. Music is a tool that does not detract from other core subjects. It is a tool that could be helping with these mental health problems that so many are suffering with today. And lastly, it's possible to run a music program and keep the budget intact. But first, we need to look at its role in our school systems. The first problem, we are losing these programs. According to District Administration's online 2018 article, budget cuts lead to dissonance in school music programs. An estimated 1.3 million students are living without access to music education in their schools. But why is music getting cut? Merriam-Music's online 2016 article, 4 Major Reasons Why Music Education is Being Cut from Schools, explains how this results from an outdated school system. Our 2020 schools are being run with the same goals as an 1800s one-room schoolhouse. When money gets tight, programs that don't obviously benefit the 1800s trinity of reading, writing, and arithmetic get cut. I'm not here to say that these courses aren't important. I'm a STEM major and I can see how these are the building blocks of my education. But to say that music hurts these courses is a serious misunderstanding. For example, imagine a kindergartner learning his letters in school. Soon, the teacher introduces reading and the kid is thrown for a tailspin. He spends the next few years struggling and being labeled as a bad reader, but in reality, he has dyslexia. That diagnosis could be found much faster if it were for a music class. A 2015 California State Master's Thesis titled Neuroscience in Music Education, an overview of current research and implications for pedagogy and policy, obtained from ProQuest databases, cited a study where students who were not able to use symbols to describe sound later had severe reading problems in their school career. Students don't have to know how to read yet or spend several years struggling when a simple music class could catch those patterns early on. That same thesis has countless other facts about how music is beneficial to our academics. Students who participate in consistent music training score higher on reading and spelling tests. Music also helps strengthen our brain neural nets, which allows for better grasping of new content. Attendance is also over 10% better in schools that have music education compared to others. And the biggest difference is in graduation rates. Schools that have music programs have a high graduation rate of 90% compared to the lower 73% that schools without graduation rates have. And we are still researching this. This chart here shows the uptick in the trends of finding new information on neuromusical studies. This is how much we've been looking into music and how it affects our brain and how positive it can be. This threat of cutting schools is going to end up hurting our students, but we can't only focus on grades. Mental health is a raging epidemic in our youth, but the act of making music could be the beginning of a cure. Being in a musical group bonds these students together with a purpose and gives them a space for emotional communication. I've experienced making music in a group through band. We are taught teamwork by working together to get the perfectly balanced chord. Being in band gives the outcasts, the misfits, people who wouldn't have such an easy time making social connections a place to be. and it mixes all the school groups together. And that's incredible in itself, but also great for mental health. As a music student, myself and also my friends have experienced what is called the state of flow. A Frontier Psychology article from 2015 titled, "When Music Flows, State and Trait in Musical Performance, Composition, and Listening, a Systematic Review," describes this in length. This state of flow is a wholly connected experience. Your thoughts and your emotions are blurred, and when you're done playing music, you're left with happiness. But don't just take it from my experience. A University of Nebraska-Lincoln honors thesis in 2018 titled "Music Education for Mental Health, Creating Participatory Musical After-School Programs" state that playing music can be a cathartic way to deal with negative emotions. Specifically, if you are playing or listening to sad music, your body releases the same chemicals you would if you were truly feeling that emotion. So those who are struggling with the downs of life, they can experience that release of the emotion without engaging in something called rumination. This is the chronic overthinking that is a very bad symptom of depression. A 2010 study from that same thesis said that music distracts the body from pain. Another study in that thesis had care workers participate in 1 hour of making music a week. The result? 22% less symptoms of depression after only 6 weeks of playing. But why is this important? For the numbers people, the Public Health Service declared in year 2000 that the mental health was a crisis in our youth. Today, according to that thesis from earlier, 1 in 5 students ages 9 to 17 have struggled with these mental disorders. I'm one of those 5. My friends are one of those 5. You may be one of those 5, or your friends may also be one of them. There are many ways to get help for mental illness, but music could be that stepping stone for students. But how can we keep these benefits and still afford it? Music is expensive, but these programs are funding themselves. There's fundraising. So many band and choir and orchestra teachers take it onto themselves to find as many fundraising opportunities to keep the programs running. There are also parent volunteers. Many of our local high schools have something called band boosters, where the parents volunteer their time and their skills to offset expenses. Grants can also help. What the school can't pay, a community member can. Music is so important culturally, and people are willing to pay for that. Other cost-reducing strategies that our schools are using are repairing instruments in-house, using class copies, borrowing stuff from other schools. But there still is stuff that needs to be paid. The Merriam Music article cited earlier explains that music classes have a much higher student-to-teacher ratio than others. And by cutting these classes, you have a mass of students who need to be relocated into other electives that often have much smaller class sizes. By cutting the programs, you are ending up having to pay for more teachers and more classes than if you invested in the music in the first place. And here's the thing, you can work music into the budget. A 2017 Colorado State University online article, "The Value of Music Education," cited how researcher Marcy Major found a low-income Michigan school district that was able to work music into a tight budget. The secret? Budgeting efficiently across all the classes, not just cutting the program. In conclusion, there is a need to cling onto these music classes. Money is hard, and making these decisions is hard as well, but I urge school officials to work hard to keep the music. If you didn't know these benefits before, I hope you understand now. And if sometime in the future you're met with a chance to speak up and save these programs, I hope you do. Not everyone will be a music major, a rock star, or even enjoy the classes, but everyone should receive the opportunity to be in them.